Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Thursday, 3rd of August 2023. Today's video is going to be a season preview and predictions on where I think Millwall and other teams will finish in the table. It's a little look around and see what everyone else is saying and then make my own mind up. And you can watch it and see what you think about it as well. Now, before we get to that, signed, sealed and delivered. Done. We have a new goalkeeper. Hopefully he's better than the one we've got now. Here we go. So this is from millfc.co.uk. This was announced in the afternoon. Millwall announced Matija Sarkic signing. Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce the signing of Matija Sarkic from Wolverhampton Wanderers. The 26-year-old goalkeeper joins the club on a long-term contract for an undisclosed fee and becomes number 5 in the door for Gary Rowett during the summer transfer window. Well, it was mentioned that Stoke had agreed a fee for 1.25 million. I'm assuming it's something similar like that. If it is, that means that this guy is now our most expensive goalkeeper in our history. That previously would have been, I think, Bart Biakowski, but we agreed a 900k deal with Bart. The deal fell through because something in the medical, so then it turned it into a loan. And then when he played on loan, and then they converted it from a loan to a full contract, full transfer. But they made it an undisclosed fee, which kind of suggested that they bargained down from the 900k, and Ipswich didn't want it to get out that had happened, because it kind of made them look bad. I don't know that, but so yeah, Bart I think was our most expensive goalkeeper, and now it's this guy. So Sarkic, born in Grimsby in England, is a Montenegro international with 8 caps to his name and has a Sky Bet Championship experience aplenty. Beginning his career at Belgium side Anderlecht, Sarkic moved to Aston Villa in 2015 before taking loan spells at Wigan Athletic, Avant and Waterlooville, and Livingston, I presume. And there he is in Harry's bar in front of that beautiful painting there. Is it a painting? Did they get that from Etsy, or did they commission that? Did someone make that? Let's have a look at these. I bet the Wicket Group are happy with these photos. Look at this. Covering it up there, and then you can barely see it there. And again, there, big hands. He's got big hands. That looks good. And once you get the gloves on, even bigger, isn't it? There he is again and again and again, and I think we're back at the beginning. So a permanent to Wolves materialised in 2020 with further loan moves to Shrewsbury Town, however you say it. Birmingham City, in which the stopper won the Supporters Player of the Year crown, and most recently Stoke City, broadening Sarkic's knowledge in the EFL. Sarkic will hope to go straight into Rowett's squad for Saturday's Sky Bet Championship trip to Middlesbrough. Oh really? That's very bold and brave to do that, I would think. Matija is another strong addition to our squad, and we are delighted that he's chosen to join us on a permanent basis, especially given the level of interest in him from other clubs this summer, said Alex Aldridge, Mill's Director of Football Operations and Recruitment. He is a player who is well known to our goalkeeping coach Andy Marshall from the successful time they had working together at Birmingham, when Matija won the Player of the Year award, and now we are excited to see him in a Millwall shirt. Yes. So that's done and dusted, so happy days. I'm not sure about throwing him straight in this game 2 days after he's signed, but we will see. If he's good enough, he should have the confidence to go straight in there. Now, moving on to this as well. Last thing before we go on to the preview. It did not load. That's fantastic. Let's see if we can refresh that and hopefully it loads. Dun, 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 dun. So Mill will take on Bristol City in the Sky Bet Championships on Saturday the 12th of August. So this is our first home game, and they're letting you know there's not a lot of tickets left. Even though it is literally 9 days away. So the limited tickets remaining in certain areas of the Den. The Lions will pay tribute to John Berylson and its fixture with full commemorative details to follow in due course. The Barry Kitchener stand has less than 100 tickets remaining. Less than 100 tickets. And this was put up this morning. This was put up around midday. Whilst the Docker stand has 250 tickets left, the best availability is in the latter in the Zampas family stand, blocks 13 to 14. But obviously there are restrictions on who can go in there. You need to have a kid with you. This is just weird if you don't. More availability remains meanwhile in the Coldblow Lane stand, more so in the lower tier, but be quick because once they are gone, they are gone. Exactly. If you're waiting for match day, you might miss out. It's just the way it is. So there you go. So yeah, that's short and sweet Millwall news today. There are other things I could talk about, but I needed to make space for the preview video. And here we go. So we're going to start off with this from the mirror.co.uk. Not a big fan of the Mirror generally. I was looking around for championship previews, and this one popped up first. And it's well written, and it's I like it. It's going club by club. So what do they say? We're not going to read the whole thing, but so they've gone club by club. The best thing they talk a little bit. We're going to read Millwall's one. They've gone for what they did last season, where it says last season, and what they think they're going to do this season. So Birmingham City, they're 17th. You think they're going to finish 12th? I probably agree with that. Blackburn Rovers, the arseholes who fucked us over for no reason because they literally had no chance of getting it. Why do that? Why not just let us win? Last season they finished 7th, yeah, and they think they're going to finish 14th. I probably agree with that as well. I think they are going to drop off massively. Bristol City last season 14th, this season 16th, so slightly worse for them. Cardiff City 21st, our prediction 20th. I don't agree with that. Cardiff stayed up by technicality because Reading got a massive points deduction. Cardiff, in terms of points won on the pitch, and I'll show you that later when I show you last season's table. Cardiff should have been relegated, and they were saved by Reading's points deduction. And I think Cardiff are going to finish in the relegation places. They've signed Aaron Ramsey. He seems to be like throwing chump to the fan base, like his former fans favour him. And I think, pretty sure they were trying to get Gareth Bale as well. It's like, yeah, no. Coventry. Now, I'm not too sure about this. The last season they finished 5th. They think they're going to finish 5th again. I'm not too sure. They lost Victor Kikeres. And they signed Ellis Sims, and a lot of people rating this guy. I think he's going to finish the top scorer. I'm not too sure. He did alright at Sunderland. Is it Sunderland? Yeah, where he was on loan, or was it Middlesbrough? No, Sunderland, yeah. I'm not too sure about that. Not too sure. Huddersfield Town. Last season 18th, our prediction 21st. So they think they're going to finish just above the relegation places. Hull City, last season 15th. This year 18th. Yeah, about right, probably. Ipswich Town, obviously they newly promoted and they put them to finish 7th. Not too sure about that. Leeds United, so obviously relegated from the Premier League. They've got them to finish 6th. I don't know. Leicester City. They have them obviously relegated. They have them to finish 1st. I probably agree with that. Having a look around, I think Leicester are the big team in the league, and they're probably one of the best capable of getting 100 points at least. Middlesbrough, so a lot of people bigging them up as well. They finished 4th, and they say they're going to finish 4th again. Not too sure about that one either. Chuba Akpom, is he going to go? The geezer, did they have a guy on loan from Man United? He's gone back, hasn't he? So they've lost him. So here we go, Millwall. We're going to read this one. It's been a difficult summer to say the least for Millwall, who tragically lost their beloved chairman John Berylson last month. Berylson's death naturally slowed things down, but things are moving again. Gary outside looked well placed to honour their late chairman of the season to remember. The Lions have added genuine quality to their starting 11 after signing the likes of Kevin Nisbet, Joe Bryan and Casper De Nora. However, much will hinge on whether they can hold starman Zion Fleming, who unsurprisingly has Premier League suitors after plundering 15 goals in his maiden season in English football. So last season, obviously, we finished 8th and they predict us to finish 9th. So same old, and I've heard of this a lot. 9th place, 12th place. Just listen to Acton Mill's show. A lot of the people on that saying, apart from the misery guts, Harry Warren's got us finishing 13th to something, 9th to 13th or something. He was the worst one. Everyone's got us finishing like 12th, 10th, places like that. Key signing Kevin Nisbet. Mill relied heavily on Tom Bradshaw and Zion Fleming for goals last year. Nisbet will ease that burden no end if his pre-season performances are anything to go by. The former Hibernian man has been red hot in the Lions games. Could be in and amongst the top league's scoring charts at the end of the season if he stays fit. Yes, hopefully, touch wood. That is something that does happen. So Mirror have us finishing 9th. Norwich City. Not too keen on this. So 13th, got into finishing last season, 11th this season. I don't think they're going to improve. I think they're going to get worse. I think the consortium that run the club, Delia and that, I think they're trying to sell the club and no one's coming in for it. And they're just ticking it over until they can sell it. So I don't think they've signed Ashley Barnes. Like, not too sure about that one either. So Plymouth Argyle won League One. They've got them finishing 17th. So they've got Ipswich Town finishing above Plymouth Argyle. See Plymouth all the way out there. They've got to do a lot of travelling. But then a lot of teams have got to do a lot of travelling to them. So their home form might be really good. And I think they need their home form to be really good in order to survive. And we're not sure about that. But 17th. Preston North End, 12th last season, 10th this season. QPR a bit of a basket case, aren't they? They're a bit. Their budget has been drastically cut. They've got massive problems. So last season they finished 20th. They say they're going to be relegated. I think everyone's tipping them mostly to be relegated, finishing 23rd. Obviously the manager's a bit of a nutcase. He's kind of deluded. He's kind of like was it the guy from The Office, Michael Scott, the American Office? He's just doing all kind of weird stuff as well. Did you see that photo where they had like was it like someone doing a hacker or something in front of the players, and they were just all staring at him. What the fuck is going on? And they filmed it as well and put it on the thing. It's supposed to be like inspirational. This is he's a bit of a fruit loop, this guy. He's gonna. Will he still be there at the end of the season? They probably can't afford to sack him, so I don't know. Rotherham. Last season they finished 19th. I think they've just signed Fred Onyedinma. More on that later because we're going to go through the transfers as well. And they reckon they're going to finish rock bottom 24th, which is Rotherham are a yo-yo team between Championship and League One, even more so than us. They literally go year by year. Same with Doncaster. Sheffield Wednesday finished 3rd in League One. Got come up by the playoffs. Sacked their manager straight away and haven't really bought any players. So they've got them to finish 22nd, which is going to send them back down. Not too sure about that. Southampton. They've got them finishing 3rd. See, they're still negotiating about selling players and what players they're going to sell. Not too sure about Russell Mine. Isn't he the guy who's manager of Swansea and he had them playing 100 sideways passes per game? Like, I'm not too. If he does that there, I'm not sure that's going to work for them. Stoke obviously spending a lot of money. Last season they finished 16th, and they've got them finishing 8th. Sunderland, there's the guy there doing the Mo Farah celebration. Last season they finished 6th, and they've got them to finish 2nd. And they reckon Bradley Dack is going to be the star man. Bradley Dack, sorry mate, Bradley Dack is kind of a busted flush. He's had his moment in the sun. He's on his way out. I can't see how he's going to fire them to 2nd. Not too sure about that one, mate. I don't know if he is a Sunderland fan and that's why he's saying that. Swansea City, they've lost their shit manager who does sideways passes. Hopefully they got themselves a better manager. Last season they finished 10th, and they reckon that they're going to finish 19th. Not too sure about that. Watford, what the hell is going on with Watford? They signed Tom Ince from Reading. I think they just signed him because he was super cheap. They got £50,000 release clause because Reading got relegated. So last season 11th, but they've got them finished 13th. Watford absolute basket case, like a revolving door for managers. Like that's no way to run a club, is it? Is it at all? West Brom, they've got money problems again, so not too sure about them. Last season 9th. This season he reckons they're going to finish 15th. We'll see about that. I think they are going to be one of the teams that drops off. So that's from the Mirror. Let's move on to this from the Guardian. What do they say? Automatic promotion contenders. Obviously, we're not in that. They obviously say the obvious names: Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton, and then they throw Middlesbrough in there. Player footfalls. So we've got Millwall here. The success of Luton and the manner in which Huddersfield, Barnsley, and Swansea have gone post in recent years is a reminder that it's possible to mix it on the basis of smart thinking, coaching, and scouting. Could this be Millwall's season? They have not finished below 11th in Garrett's 4 seasons, but faded when it mattered last season. They look stronger this time with the Scotland striker Kevin Nisbet, who had a prolific goal scoring record back home, the pick of their summer signings. And then they say Coventry will miss the je ne sais quoi of Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, I agree with that. Gus Hamer may also leave, but they've signed some few players. Sunderland have a chance. Swansea, they say, may be in with a shout, and then Watford, West Brom, and Norwich. Not too sure about that. Okay. Relegation candidates. It's the same old Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, Rotherham, Huddersfield, Cardiff. Okay. Yeah. And they got 3 youngsters to watch, and none of them are Remain Essex. So there you go. That's from the Guardian. And then moving on to Sporting Life, got an extensive one here. They've actually tipped up Millwall, so obviously now it's such a hard division. Apparently next season it's going to be. They've got Mill are now odds against to finish in the top half, so they're saying 6 points for Mill to finish in the top half. So to finish in the top 12, 6-5, a better Victor. Odds against, and they're saying, well, let's do that. It's quite a big bet. It's one of the biggest bets they've got here, and they've also got Middlesbrough to finish in the top 6 points on that. If you're going to bet, do bet responsibly though. I'm not endorsing these bets. I'm just showing you what other things are saying. Right, so the Sky Bet Championship has shed its reputation as one of the most unpredictable leagues in the world over the last few seasons. The hangover from COVID is to blame. Loss of revenue made it harder for regulars to compete with the financial clout for recently relegated sides. Of the last 9 sides to drop down from the top right, 4 bounced back at the first time of asking, and all bar one of them was promoted after a second bite of the cherry. So half of them. So basically 9 sides. So the last 3 seasons, 3, 3, and 3. Only 4. They put it like it's wow. Like so, only 4 came straight back up. It's not. fait accompli. Like, doesn't mean they're going to do it. There's still a chance that they're not. While the gulf between the top flight and the second division is broadening, the chasm between the second and the third tiers looks to be shortening. Okay. After 4 seasons in Sky Bet League One, Sunderland utilised the momentum of their playoff promotion to catapult them to a top 6 finish. Well, they do have massive crowds and a massive season ticket sales. Like, they were a giant. They were a giant in League One, and they were a big team in the Championship. Like, come on, man. Just saying, oh, they were a League One team. Yeah, like Man City were in League One. Look at where they are now. They had crowds of 20,000 in League One. Rotherham also beat the drop, meaning 2/3 of the promoted sides over the past 2 seasons avoided an instant return to League One. Again. That said, if you do slip through the trapdoor, it is becoming increasingly difficult to make a speedy return. Peterborough, Derby and Barnsley failed to bounce back immediately last campaign. Hull and Rotherham are the only 2 to do so since 2020. Wigan did in their second season, and Sheffield Wednesday also did at the second time of asking. The trend suggests it is a slippery slope. Oh yeah, because it becomes habitual, doesn't it? When you're losing, you're a loser. You're like losers, and it's hard to get out of that mentality. What of the rest? Last season, the points gap between 7th and 21st was the joint tightest it has been in a decade. Only 20 points separated Blackburn, who missed out on playoffs via goal difference, and Cardiff, who finished one place above the drop. So the tightest it's been in 10 years. And it could be even tighter. You're saying that this season's going to be stronger and stronger. We could literally be in both a playoff challenge and a relegation battle at the same time, going into about February, March. It could be that tight. Literally, you win 2 games, you go up, you're in a playoff battle. Lose 2 games, you go down, you're in a relegation battle. Essentially, it's becoming harder to escape the division and easier to become an established side, but harder to find a way back if relegated. So it should be a doddle predicting what is going to happen this campaign, right? So they've got odds here, the winner, and then they're like they said, Middlesbrough to finish in the top 6. They've got that bet. Millwall top half again. I wonder what Gary Rowett said to his Millwall side at half time on the final day. Whatever it was had a catastrophic effect. The Lions were leading 3-1 against Blackburn at the break and looked primed for a top 6 finish, only to concede 3 second half goals and drop to 8th. That implosion left a sour taste at the den, but now the dust has settled, it's a little easier to appreciate the job that Rowett is doing. In 6 seasons in South London, Rowett's side have constantly flirted with the playoffs and never finished in the bottom half, picking up results in just under a third of his 184 league games at the club. Tallies of 68, 62, 69 and 68 points depict the consistency he has overseen. Mill's odds against the price for a top half finish appeals here. There are a few things to consider, of course, the form of Tom Bradshaw being one. Domestically, Mill's frontman bagged 17 times last campaign, dwarfing his best tally at this level, which accounted for approximately 30% of his side's goals. Bradshaw had not hit double figures in any of his previous 6 championship seasons. Zion Fleming became a talismanic figure from midfield with 15 goals and 3 assists. The Dutchman is attracting interest from Burnley and Lazio. If he is tempted away, Mill could lose their spark. But history suggests Rowett can be trusted to replace it and maintain stability, and should have the Lions roaring at the right end of the table once again. Can we break 70 points? So we've got on target there 68, 62, 69 and 68. You've got to get 70 points if you want to get into the playoffs. We need to break that invisible barrier, glass ceiling, whatever it is. We need to get at least 70 points. Hopefully more. 73, 74 should do it. Then they say Sheffield Wednesday's price to be relegated is too large to ignore. Okay, because they really haven't signed anyone players and sacked the manager, which is kind of weird. Championship top goal scorer Jamie Vardy, 6-1. You having a laugh? Are you having a laugh? Various others there. So obviously Chuback might not even be there. They got Ellis Sims 20-1, Ross Stewart 20-1, Jorginho Ruta 16-1. Yeah, so they reckon Ellis Sims here, they're backing him. because obviously he signed. Sims scored 7 times on. So he scored 7 times on loan last season, and they're backing him to be top scorer this season. In order to be top scorer in this league, you need like 21, 22 goals. There's a bit of a jump. I don't know if they're saying back that each way, but not too sure about that. So he's got an XG of 4.9. So he had an XG of 4.9 and got 7 goals. So he overperformed his XG, which is good. Okay, what else have we got? Connor Chaplin to be top scorer, 40-1. Not too sure, don't know about that. And there we go. I think that's it. So they do put Millwall in their bets because obviously with all these better teams coming down, apparently we are now odds against to finish in the top half. So that kind of suggests that they reckon we might finish 13th or lower. So there you go. Now let's get onto the actual odds here. This is from oddschecker.com. We are 50-1 to win the league. 50-1. Which, so if we count up all these teams in front of us, we've got Leicester, Leeds, Southampton. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12. So again, they've got us finishing 13th. We're 13th in the list. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but we're 13th in the price list here. At 50-1 to win the league. They've got Leicester and then Leeds and then Southampton and then Middlesbrough, which is probably, I think Southampton might be the funny one this year. Norwich are not going to finish 4th or 5th at all. No way are they finish 4th. They've got Ipswich 16-1 to win the league. How are Ipswich shorter to win the league than us? That's bizarre. Relegation. Well, we're 12-1 to be relegated. And in this one, there are 3, 6, 9, 12. Again, 12 teams in front of us. So the bookmakers have got us bang mid-table, like 12, 13, 14, round about there. It looks like. Top goal scorer, Kevin Nisbet, 40-1. Not sure what the each way terms are. I'm just looking at the base thing. They've got Patson Daka. I don't even know who the fuck that guy is. Who does he play for? Patson Daka. And then they've got Jamie Vardy, Chubac, Joel Perot, Kalichi Iheanacho, Che Adams, Adam Armstrong. A lot of people tipping up Adam Armstrong because he got relegated down. He's now back in the Championship where he scored a load of goals last time. So we'll see. We've got Kevin Nisbet 40-1. We've got Tom Bradshaw 50-1. And then we've got Zion Fleming 66-1. Will Zion Fleming still be in this league? I don't know. Promotion, just general promotion, 9-1. So that's to finish first, second, or playoff winners, 9-1. That's a bit slim. And again, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, we're still 12th. So there you go, 12th in the prices. And that's it. So let's have a look and see what's going on. What's going on here? We're going to quickly scroll through. This is from Transfer Market without the e.co.uk. It's that German website that values players over weird values and in euros for some reason. These are all the transfers during this summer transfer window. For some reason, I don't know why they do this. They include the end of a loan. So if you loaned your player out and he comes back to you, they include that as a player that's coming in. Kind of weird. I don't know why they do that, but be aware of. They're always at the bottom though. You can see them there. It's a bit weird. So this is what Birmingham have done. What they brought in. I'm not going to go through all of them. You can see them there. And then this is what they've got going out. Which is why you think Birmingham should be improving. Blackburn. You see here players they got coming in. 2 free transfers alone. And they've sold, or they've gone as Brereton Diaz, Bradley Dack's gone. So that's kind of feeling that they're going to drop off. Kaminsky's gone away to Luton, the goalkeeper. So Bristol City players in, a few decent players in, some players out. Cardiff, just free transfers and free loans. Aaron Ramsey, 32-year-old. Not too sure about that. A load of players leaving. Coventry, spending a lot of money. Where did they get that money? Well, they sold Victor Kikeras, so they've literally took all the money they got from Victor Kikeras and spent it on Ellis Sims, Milan Banuric, Bobby Thomas, Tatsuro Sakamoto, and Bradley Collins. So they've traded one very good player in for 5 average players. So will that work out? I don't know. Not too sure. Putting a lot of pressure on Ellis Sims there. He only scored 7 goals last season, whereas Gikeras scored like 16 or so. So yeah, but not bad business from Coventry, not bad business. But then again, you've got to get them gelling, you've got to get them playing, doing well. Huddersfield Town, nothing, is it? Look, quite a few players leaving, and they've literally signed a 32-year-old goalkeeper on a free, loaned in a right back from Stoke City, and that's it. That's all they've done. So you can see why they're being tipped for relegation. The whole City, again, not much from them. Quite a few players leaving them. Ipswich Town, spending a bit. And a load of players leaving out on loan, free transfers. Leeds United, not doing much in the transfer window. Ethan Ampadu from Chelsea for 8 million. Cole Darlow. Elder Costa, come back from Etihad. But a lot of players leaving. So we'll see how that works out. Now here's the one, Leicester. So they sold James Maddison for 40 million. Sold Harvey Barnes for 40 million. They spent 12 million on Harry Winks. 8 million on Connor Cody. 7 million on Mavi Didi. And Mads Hermansen, the goalkeeper, 7 million. So they're looking strong there, aren't they? I don't think they're fucking around. They're trying to win the league. It certainly does look like Leicester are the team to beat. Middlesbrough. Seni Dieng, goalkeeper from QPR. And they signed another goalkeeper, Jamie Jones. They signed Tom Glover. They signed 3 goalkeepers. What's with this league this season? Everyone's wants to buy goalkeepers, including Millwall. Kind of weird. So yeah, there you go. Here's Millwall's business. Doesn't look that bad when you compare it to the rest of the league. Some good stuff there. Oh, they've got the Matty Sarkic deal down as 1.4 million euros, whatever that is in pounds. Doesn't look bad, does it? Mill's business doesn't look bad. Norwich, here's their transfers. Again, Shane Duffy, 31-year-old centre back. Not too sure about any of these. Timu Puki's gone to Minnesota, the land of 1,000 legs. Plymouth Argyle, spending a bit. Right back from Norwich, right winger from Swansea, goalkeeper from Celtic. But let a load of players go out on free transfers. So even though they won the league at a rampant pace, they've got a load of players that they don't think is going to be up to this league, and they've just let them go. Preston North End, the perennial mid-table team. Daniel Johnson finally leaving, gone to Stoke. Been there for ages, he has, hasn't he, Daniel Johnson? Jamaican lad. Will Keane they've signed, trying to score some goals. Leighton Stewart from Liverpool under 21s. Spent a bit of money on Mads Folker Jensen from Odense. Queen's Park Rangers, here we go. Look at their business. Free transfer, free transfer, free transfer, free transfer, free transfer. They haven't got a bucket to piss in. Morgan Fox, left back. Begovic, the goalkeeper, 36-year-old. Paul Smith, they signed him from Leyton Orient. So like I'm saying, they signed, even though Leyton Orient are in League One this season because they got promoted from League Two. They basically signed a player from a League Two team to play in the Championship. It's not like he's a spring chicken. He's 25 years old, so that was like scratching your head, like what's that about? Maybe it'll work out. Don't know, but weird. And they've sold Senny Dieng and Rob Dickey. Apparently, they might be selling others as well. Not too sure about that. And here's Rotherham. Even worse, they got 4 free transfers. Again with the goalkeepers, Dylan Phillips. Loads of players leaving. Yeah, Rotherham brought in Fred Onyedinma, former Millwall player, on loan from Luton. So it looks like Luton are just loaning out some players in case they get relegated and they can bring them back. Obviously they lost Ogbene, their star striker, to Luton. Lost Wes Harding to Millwall. Our players leaving, Connor Washington. So Rotherham, you can see why Rotherham are being back to get relegated. Entirely understandable. Sheffield Wednesday they haven't done any business at all. Doesn't look the best of business here. Southampton, like I said about Southampton, they seem to be the one that's they might be the one that struggles. They've got a load of players left. They've only signed Hugh Charles they spent 12 million on a defensive midfielder from Man City's youth team. Ryan Manning, the left back, who's from Swansea, and did the deal with the manager because the manager knew he was going to leave, so he said, "Come with me to Southampton." And they've got the 26-year-old Polish goalkeeper. Is that Polish? So, yeah. Stoke. Here's Stoke. Very busy. Stoke are bringing a load of players in. 4 million for Ryan Mame from Ferencváros. Ender Stevens, left back. Michael Rose, centre back. Daniel Johnson. So you can see they're going for it. They're bringing players in. Certainly looks to, when you look at the players that have left, certainly looks like they've improved their squad. You see why Stoke are being tipped up. Sunderland, here we go with Sunderland. I'm not too sure about this. Just people tipping him just because they signed Bellingham. Bradley Dack, 29 years old. He's on the way out. There's a reason why he didn't do it last season at Blackburn. It's not because Blackburn was shit. It's because he's getting old. So yeah, I can't see Sunderland. This isn't like a massive improvement here. They signed quite a few teenagers as well. Looks like they're just trying to hunt it. Swansea, Jerry Yates for 2.8 million. 2.8 million for a striker from Blackpool. Crazy, isn't it? 2.8 million, and we signed Kevin Nisbet from Hibernian for way less than that. I think we got a better deal. As you can see, Femi's gone to Burnley, so you can see why people not big on Swansea. Watford. We nearly at the bottom now. Don't worry, we're nearly at. So Watford signing Tom Ince, 31 years old. Jake Livermore, 33 years old. It's weird, random signings made. Sold a few. João Pedro to Brighton for 34. Sarr, 13 to Marseille. So yeah, it's pretty much run like a business, isn't it? It's part of the Udinese kind of thing. It's kind of like a conglomerate clubs group. I don't think they care as long as they make money. They don't care if they're in the Championship or the Premier League. West Brom here. Look at the business they've done. Barely anything. Hardly anything at all. Josh Mayer from Bordeaux. Sarmiento from Brighton. That's a loan. So you can, yeah. I mean, so there's all the transfers that have happened. Some teams have done some business. Some teams haven't done any. Some teams just done really poor business. So here we go. Looking at what we've seen now. So Middlesbrough. So I wanted to show you something now. So look at 6th place, Sunderland, right? Boo, boo, 6th place, yeah. That was ours. They stole it. They've got 69 points. You go down to 13th place where Norwich are. They're 7 points. As was mentioned on the thing when they said 20 points go from 6th to the one place above the relegation, and that's the tightest it's been in 10 years. If next season is going to be stronger and harder, you can expect that to be even tighter. And the one way you get that is if there's one really dogshit team at the bottom that just gets whipped every week and they fall away, and then everyone else kind of consolidates. And if one or two teams at the top run away with it, you can see here. So Burnley got 101 points in the season. That's 21 points ahead of 3rd place. Sheffield United got 11 points ahead of 3rd place, and they were 10 points behind Burnley. So it's literally the top 2 on their own. The next 3 or the next 2, and then you've got Coventry down to 13. Down to 13th is 8-point difference. So that is incredibly tight. 8 points just covering that many places in the final table. Like I said, this season coming up, if we're mid-table and we win a couple of games, we're up and we're in a playoff place. We're in a playoff battle. If we lose a couple, then we're in a relegation battle. It's going to be probably that kind of season again. So yeah. Looking at the teams, where they're going to go, what they did, what they could do. Obviously, weird anomalies. So if there's going to be a lot more draws, you've got here. If you look in the middle, you got Sheffield United only had 7 draws. You got Middlesbrough had 9. Blackburn had 9. If there's going to be a lot more draws, that's going to be a bit more bunching up. And then the teams that can get that win can see themselves moving upwards. We've got weird anomalies. Blackburn in 7th, minus goal difference on -2. Just bizarre. We've got Preston in 12th with -14 goal difference. Like I said, Cardiff, you can see Cardiff 49 points. Reading on 44, but Reading actually got on the pitch 50 points. So Cardiff would have been relegated. Reading got -6 points for business stuff, so that relegated them. And you can see QPR just above, but they had a -27 goal difference, which is the worst in the league. Shipping goals. And they've just sold their goalkeeper to Middlesbrough. Was it Middlesbrough or Sunderland? Middlesbrough. And then everyone thinks Middlesbrough are going to do better now that they've signed QPR's goalkeeper. I'm not too sure about that one. You can see the teams are there or thereabouts, the ones we expect. Huddersfield, Rotherham, QPR, Cardiff. I think those ones will drop down, and then above them will slot the promoted teams. I'm not too sure that Sheffield Wednesday go down. I don't think they will. It might be in a battle. If it's a tight league, you're going to be in a battle all season. There's not going to be any breathing room, breathing space. It's going to be a battle all the way to the end of the season. But I think Norwich are going to drop massively. They could be 5 places lower. So let's get into it. We're at the end of the video now. Here we go. We're on tiermaker.com. So let's put up my predictions for posterity in this video, so we can look back in 10 months' time, or however long the season is, to see how I did. Relegated. I think Cardiff 100% will be relegated. No ifs, no buts. They're going to make up one of the 3 places. Not too sure which place. Maybe rock bottom. I think they've just had the court case about paying for the dead player, and they've been told that they have to pay. So I think that was a kind of cloud hanging over the club. Obviously, it's not they don't want to, but I think they should just pay the money and move on and see what they can do. So who else is going to be relegated? Bit of a tough one. Picking from the teams, we don't know about financial stuff either that might play a part. But I think we're gonna have Rotherham, and I think QPR might be there or thereabouts. I actually think they might just sneak above. I think it's probably going to be like that with Cardiff bottom, Rotherham second from bottom, and then QPR 22nd. So who's going to be next? I think Sheffield Wednesday are going to be in this bottom part. So what we've got there, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that's 5 teams we need to put in there. So the strugglers, probably Plymouth Argyle as well. Probably Hull. Definitely Huddersfield. So one more team from these, and I think we are going to go for. We're going to go for Ipswich Town, and let me just rearrange these in order that I can finish. Ipswich probably 17. Kind of weird to have the 3 promoted teams all together. Probably like that. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's going to be massively wrong at the end of the season. I've got Ipswich finished 17th, Plymouth 18th, Hull 19th, Sheffield Wednesday 20th, and Huddersfield Town 21st. So now mid-table. Well, you're talking mid-table. You've got Preston there. It's perennial, isn't it? I think Norwich are going to finish there. I think Bristol City are going to finish there. I think Blackburn Rovers are going to finish there. So what we've got, I've got to get one more, yeah? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, 16. So, no, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, yeah, 6 teams. So, I've got to find 2 more teams there. Well, West Brom and Watford, I think. It's got to be, isn't it? Where do we think they finish? Probably Blackburn will finish 16th. Norwich are going to finish 15th. West Brom will finish above Watford, yeah, there. So I've got Preston finishing 11th, West Brom finishing 12th, Bristol City finishing 13th, Watford finishing 14th, Norwich finishing 15th, and Blackburn Rovers finishing 16th. That's what you get for missing Watford. So now I've got to find 4 teams here to finish 7th to 10th. Getting a bit harder, isn't it? Getting a bit harder. I've got to whittle them down. 7th to 10th. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go, I think Leicester will finish first. I don't think Southampton are going to do well. I'm not too sure about Leeds. I think Leeds are going to do better than Southampton. I tell you what, I'll put Southampton. Yeah, I want to put Southampton out of the playoffs. I think they're going to be the team this season that doesn't well. I'm gonna have Sunderland there. They luckily to get into the playoffs because we fucked it up. Like it was ours on the bag and we gave it to them, and they got to the final and lost. Like, well, that's great. That may have been their chance. I'm not too sure they're going to do it again. So by that process of elimination, that means I've either got Leeds or Middlesbrough to finish second. I tell you, I'm going to go for Leeds just because Charlie Cresswell he signed a 4-year deal. It's weird. They wanted to sell him to Stoke apparently. They wanted to pull him back from the loan at Millwall and sell him to Stoke. and now they've just given them a 4-year deal. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't put them in second because it sounds like they're a bit of a basket case behind the scenes if they're doing shit like that. Actually, yeah, you know what? Let's put Middlesbrough there, actually, even though I disagree with how they're doing so well. And then that means Leeds will playoffs. Birmingham ain't getting in the playoffs, so that's them there. Stoke, I think. I might have messed this up, actually. Stoke. I think Swansea now that they're going to play actually forward passing. I think. Actually, you know what? We'll put Southampton in the playoffs. We'll put Swansea just outside. We'll put Stoke there. And that means we've got Millwall in the playoffs. I tell you what, I don't think Coventry are going to make the playoffs though. I don't think they are. So I think I'm probably going to have to put Sunderland in the playoffs. Just so I can put Coventry not in the playoffs. And does that make sense? If you've got first, second is Leicester, Middlesbrough. Third is Leeds. Fourth is Southampton. Fifth is Sunderland. Actually, you know what? We're doing that. Millwall to finish fourth. Southampton to finish fifth. Sunderland to finish sixth. Now, this one. Do I rearrange these? I think we will do. I think we'll do that and then that. So we've got Stoke finishing 7th, Swansea 8th, Birmingham 9th, Coventry 10th. Then Preston 11th, West Brom 12th, Bristol City 13th, Watford 14th, Norwich 15th, Blackburn 16th, Ipswich 17th, Plymouth Argyle 18th, Hull 19th, Sheffield Wednesday 20th, Huddersfield Town 21st, and the relegated teams QPR in 22nd, Rotherham United 23rd, and Cardiff City rock bottom 24th. So there you go. What I think is going to happen. Right. Oh, I should have done it like that. Like that. So this is my prediction for the final table in May 2024. I think Millwall will be struggling at the start of the season. I think we're going to lose our first game against Middlesbrough. We always lose at Middlesbrough away anyway. It's not the easiest places to go to. I think we're going to struggle because I think Gary Rout's gone back to the stupid formation that doesn't work. It puts too much pressure on the defence because there's no one in midfield to hold up the ball. Are we still going to do high pressing? How can we do high pressing with one less player? Small things make a massive difference. I think he's going to figure that out. I think Zion Fleming's going to leave at the end of the transfer window. Maybe to Turkey, because Turkey's window doesn't close until the 5th of September. So Galatasaray have just signed Wilfred Zaha. They always sign massive players from England. I don't know why. Kind of weird. I think they're trying to. They're like Scottish teams. Or they're like Celtic and Rangers. They're trying to. Like they're massive in their own countries, but they want to be more. They want to do stuff in Europe and the Champions League. So they're trying to bring in big players from overseas, and I think it doesn't work for them. For whatever reason, I don't know why. It's culture clash with the Turkish country. I don't know. It doesn't really work. So yeah, I think Zion Fleming's going to leave. So Zion Fleming leaving right at the last minute with Millwall playing the shit wrong formation. I think we're going to struggle. But we're not going to be. We're going to be playing well in patches, but we're going to be struggling a lot and probably conceding stupid goals. That's going to mean we either draw or lose games. Then there's going to be a change of formation. We're going to power on, and then we're going to hit the ground running at the start of next year. From January 2024 onwards, we're just going to start absolutely hammering it like we usually do most seasons. We have a poor September, and we do September, October, and we absolutely start smashing it in the new year. So yeah, I think that's going to happen. I think we're going to finish fourth. I know everyone's got us finishing up lower and lower, but you see how when the division gets harder and harder, the points difference, it shrinks. And we literally missed out on the last day on one result that kind of flipped. And we were hoping for other results going our way. It didn't. Sunderland, obviously, if they didn't do what they did, they would have just still beaten us on goal difference. But going into that final day, there were like permutations going on. We're like, okay, well, if they win with this and this and this, that's how tight it was at the end of the season on that last day. And you got 7 points from 6th place to 13th. So it's possible. It's not beyond the realms of possibility for us to be up there. Especially, I think if we've got Leicester running away with it, and whoever's second, maybe Leeds or whoever's running away with it as well, then that means third and fourth are going to be brought into that bunch as well. So we're going to have the point spread going from third all the way down to like 10th or 12th. So I think that's going to be tighter. And then we're going to see like another group at the bottom, and then maybe one or two teams at the bottom just cut adrift, absolutely battered every week, and having like a massive 20-point gap. There's even there, like between Wigan, like 7 points between Wigan and Cardiff. 5 points between Blackpool and Cardiff, and between Reading and Cardiff, and like I said, Cardiff stayed up on technicality from the points deduction. It's very tight, very very tight. So there you go. That's last season, and this is my prediction for next season. What do you think? Do you think I'm absolutely fucking crazy for thinking that we're going to finish fourth in the league? Maybe I am. What do you think? I'm hearing a lot of Millwall fans saying 9th, 12th. It would be sad if that was the case. If last season, if that was the crescendo, maybe Gary Rout's going to leave now if we start off poorly and it doesn't go well. It's like, well, what else can I do? But we signed the goalkeeper. They're spending money. They spend money on the goalkeeper. They're doing things. They're trying. They're making an effort. So it's kind of be seen kind of weird. Like they are trying to figure out like how can we do this. Obviously, we can't pump loads of money into it and just hope that it pays off like a lot of teams are doing here. We've got to be a bit smarter, and we are trying to do that. So why can't it work out for us if we're doing that? Why can't it? And like I said in yesterday's video, everyone's shitting their pants that the league's going to be harder and tougher with bigger teams in it. What do Millwall do against bigger teams? We rise to the occasion. We love it. We absolutely love it. We struggle against shit like Rotherham. We get poor results against Huddersfield, Rotherham, Wigan. That's what fucked us up last season against Hull. Give us Leeds games. Give us Southampton games. Give us Middlesbrough. Give us Birmingham. Give us Stoke. We'll play those games all day long. We love those games. The fans do, the players do. You want to be involved in big games especially against these teams that come down from Premier League. The Leicester game, they've just spent millions of pounds on talent, and then you've got a chance as a Millwall player who's worth 500k to show what you can do against this guy who's supposed to be the bee's knees in the Premier League player. And you've got an opportunity there to put him in your pocket and make him look worthless. And that's what you want to do. That's the competition. That's what it's about. So yeah, don't be scared. Don't be worried. We're going to start poorly. It's going to be shit because for some reason Gary Rowett's, I know he's got amnesia. He's gone back to the 5 at the back. Even though I don't know, I literally don't know why he's doing that. He's going to find out that it causes the midfield to be overrun, which happened at Charlton in the Charlton game. Pretty obvious. So hopefully he figures out quicker this season than last season, and we start getting some results. But yeah, there you go. And on that note, that has been your Daily Millwall EFL Championship Sky Bet 2023-24 prediction video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.